Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Alhamdulillahi wa kafa. Assalamun ala ibadihi alladhina istafa. Amma ba'd. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali Sayyidina Muhammad wa barik wa sallim. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali Sayyidina Muhammad wa barik wa sallim. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي ربي زدني علما ربي زدني علما ربي زدني علما. How are you all doing? Apologies brothers, I couldn't take the class yesterday. I was traveling, so I went to Karachi for a day until I came back last night. Inshallah, we will start from where we stopped last week. So, Saim, if you can tell me where did we end last time, so we can start from there onwards.
Basically started off like we said we talked about hiding faults of other people and like and how and the sins are committed.
Yeah. Okay. Jazakallah khairan. Now, if I can have a raise of hands as to who all want to participate in reciting the next ayahs. Okay, let me see. Quite a few hands out there. Who's not got a chance yet? Safwan, have you got a chance yet?
No, sir.
I don't think so. All right. So I've put the next ayahs on the screen. If you can please recite now, Safwan.
Shall I start, sir?
Yes, please.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. واستبق الباب وقدت قميصه من دبر وألف يا سيدها لدى الباب قالت ما جزاء من أراد بأهلك سوءا إلا أن يسجن أو عذاب أليم قال هي راودتني عن نفسي وشهد شاهد من أهلها إن كان قميصه قد من قبل فصدقت وهو من الكاذبين وإن كان قميصه قد من دبر فكذبت وهو من الصادقين فلما رأى قميصه قد من دبر قال إنه من كيدكن إن كيدكن عظيم يوسف أعرض عن هذا واستغفري لذنبك إنك كنت من الخاطئين.
Jazakumullah khair. If I can have a fresh raise of hands from whom those who want to read the translation of the ayahs recited. Usman Muhammad Khan, if you can please read the translation of these ayahs.
And they raced towards the door, and she tore his skirt from behind, and they found her master by the door. She said, what can be the punishment of the one who intended evil with your wife, except that he be
Imprisoned.
imprisoned or given a painful
Chastisement.
chastisement. He said it was she who thought to
seduce me.
seduce me, and a witness from her family observed, observed that if his shirt was torn up from the front side, then she is true and he's a liar. And if his shirt was torn up from behind, then she is telling a lie and he is truthful. So when he saw his shirt torn up from behind, he said, "This is
Certainly
certainly
a guile of yours.
yours, oh great is the guile of you, woman. Indeed, O Yusuf, ignore this matter, and you, O woman, seek forgiveness from your sin, for you were guilty in fact.
Jazakallah khair, Usman. Alright, so basically, just picking up from where we had stopped last time was, as we all know, that Zulaikha, she was calling Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam towards a sin, and Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam did not want to do that. So, as we all remember, the first thing which he did is he sought the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. After doing that, he got into a dialogue with Zulaikha and trying to convince her that we should not be doing this. And when Zulaikha did not agree to that, is the last thing which he did is he just ran away. So as I had already told you guys, is that the way Zulaikha had set up the entire scene was that she had closed all the doors, so the doors were all locked, and Prophet Yusuf salam did not have the keys, and because so that Prophet Yusuf salam cannot run anywhere. And then when Prophet Yusuf salam did not agree to what Zulaikha was asking him to do, that's and eventually Prophet Yusuf salam just ran towards the door. Now, question over here, and the lesson for us over here is, if the doors were all locked, then why did Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam run towards the door? The reason why Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam ran towards the door is he just wanted to do what he could do best. He wanted to give his best shot by just running and trying whatever best he can, because eventually in this world Allah Ta'ala has made us mukallaf of the effort which we make and not the result. It's not that what result we are able to achieve, because result is in the hands of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. You might try whatever you can and you might not receive the result. But does that mean you don't get the ajr for doing that? No, you do get the ajr for doing that. So, for example, if you made sure, for example, you know as a person that okay, you need at least 5 hours of sleep to wake up for Fajr. As in everyone's body is different, everyone's sleep requirement is different, everyone sleeps in a different manner. But for example, as in everyone knows themselves very well. So for example, you feel that the way you understand yourself is you feel that okay, 5 hours of sleep is what usually if I get that, then it's easy for me to wake up for Fajr. Now what happens is and then you know that okay, for example, these days Fajr Azan is at 4 o'clock. For example, it's at 4 o'clock. And then knowing yourself, what you do is you make sure that by 11 o'clock you are in bed. You also do wudu before you go to sleep. You read the askar before you going to sleep. You make dua to Allah Ta'ala that also He wakes you up for Fajr so that you can go for Fajr. And then for some reason, for Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala knows best, if you are not able to wake up for Fajr and you put your alarms also, the alarms are also there, you've made sure everything what you can which will wake you up for Fajr. And then what happens is suddenly you wake up and then you see it's already 7 o'clock and you missed your Fajr prayer. You and me, if we have ensured all that we can, then we will not be held responsible for that. Yes, we tried our best. Yes, we should feel sorry. We wake up, we say astaghfirullah and just do qada. But then what was in our hand, we tried our best. We gave it our best. This is what is required from me and you. That we give it your best shot. So even if you give your best shot and you still fall in a sin, astaghfirullah and start over. Result is not in my hand. That's what la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah also means. That nobody has the power or might except Allah to save us from doing a bad deed and to help us in doing a good deed. We cannot stay away from sins if Allah's help is not there. All we can do is try our best, make dua to Allah, and then leave it to Allah. So this is what Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam did over here. He just ran towards the door, giving it his best shot, and just hoping Allah's help will come. And Allah's help did come. So as soon as he reached the door opened up. And as soon as the door opened up, what does he see over there is the Aziz of Misr. The Aziz of Misr, the finance minister of Misr, he's standing over there. And the finance minister of Egypt is standing over there, and he can see, and he saw that Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam is coming towards the door, and he can see his wife running behind. And as soon as, and this is the card which the wife of the finance minister played, is as soon as the door opened and they saw the finance minister over there, is she clearly said, she changed her stance and said, what? And as soon as she saw that, she says, what can be the punishment of the one who intended evil with your wife, except that he be imprisoned? That means he should be put to jail, or he should be given adabun alim, he should be given a painful punishment. So she is turning around the cards over here. The picture which she is trying to portray over here is that in reality what was happening is Zulaykha was asking Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam to do a sin, to do a crime, and what she eventually does is she says, no, he is the one who was doing a crime, who was trying to do a crime, and I was stopping her, and I was stopping him. So if that is the and then she's like, okay, if somebody tries to do that, then what should we, either we should put him to jail or we should give him a painful punishment. So she just turned the entire scenario over there. The entire story she's flipped in front of her husband. So basically this is the setup which Zulaykha made over there. Now as soon as she said that, Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam, and now because Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam was being accused, Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam was being accused by someone of trying to do a sin. So Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam spoke up and in defense of the allegation which had been put on her. So he said, قَالَ هِيَ رَاوَدَتْنِي عَنْ نَفْسِي. And he said, Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam said, it is she who sought to seduce me. Basically, it is she who wanted me to commit the sin. It is she who was calling me toward the sin. I was not going to do the sin. So this is a lesson for me and you over here. So if for some reason we get accused somewhere of an allegation, then we should clear ourselves, because what happens is, for example, if somebody accuses me of maybe stealing, somebody accuses that he is the one who stole money, then it should not be that I should just stay quiet. No, okay, if he's putting that allegation on me, then I should stay that. No. We should clear ourselves, because it's not just me. Me and you are also carrying the flag of Islam. So, and this is how people generalize things. So people say, okay, if he is the one who steals money, then all Muslims steal money. We should not be doing that. So, and similarly, whenever we carry ourselves, wherever we go and whatever we do, we should always remember that if we slip, then what are we portraying to the people around? If we misbehave, for example, we misbehave, with people at home or people in school and people around our family, friends, relatives, then one is that okay, we are misbehaving. So the second is what is the perception we are giving to people around. So if there are any non-Muslims watching us at that time, they will say, oh, if Ayman misbehaves, that and so that means all Muslims misbehave, as in all don't know how to behave. So even when we are carrying ourselves outside, we need to make sure that we carry ourselves in a manner that we portray the right values of Islam to people around, that we behave in the best of manners. We are always ready to help people. We are always ready. We always have a smiling face, meet people with a smiling face, help people around, care for people, because this is indirect dawah, which is the most powerful dawah which we can do. Because I can keep going on and on and on, but if my actions are not good, nobody will get inspired by me. So our actions need to tell people that how beautiful Islam is. So Prophet Yusuf salam just clearly told over there that no, she's the one. She's the one who was calling me towards the sin. I did not do that. And then the help of Allah came. So how did the help of Allah came? وَشَهِدَ شَاهِدٌ مِّنْ أَهْلِهَا, and it says, and a witness from her family. Now, do you guys know who is that witness from the family? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made a small baby who was in the cradle speak up in defense of Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam. This is the sunnah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is how Allah ta'ala helps his people. Those who try to live a life of deen, those who are pious, those who do good, those who stay away from bad, when allegations come on them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's help comes, and Allah ta'ala's help can come in any manner. We all know how Prophet Isa alayhi salam spoke when he was just a baby in defense of the allegations which were put on his mother. Similarly over here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made a small baby who was lying in his cot or cradle, speak up in defense of Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam. And subhanAllah, this baby gave a logic. The baby gave a logic. And what logic did the baby give? The baby said that what, in order to find, because now it was not clear to the finance minister, right? It was not clear to him at who is right. Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam is saying Zulaikha is the one who did this mischief. Zulaikha is saying Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam was the one who was causing problem. Now whom should finance? And the finance minister was not there. He's like, okay, how do I address this issue? What do I do that? So the small baby gave an idea. The small baby said, what you should do is you should see from where is the shirt of Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam torn. So, for example, if Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam was trying to do the sin and Zulaikha was stopping Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam, then Zulaikha would have attacked him from the front and his shirt would have been torn from the front. But, for example, if Zulaikha was trying to call Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam towards the sin and Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam was running, then Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam would be running, Zulaikha would be trying to catch him from behind, and from behind the shirt of Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam would be torn. Subhanallah. What an amazing help from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala came in. Firstly, he made the
finance minister couldn't get this technique, but a baby got it from Allah.
Yeah, because the finance minister was sorry. We don't know who the baby was. We don't know who the baby was, but there was a baby in their house in the cradle. Maybe it might be their son or someone, we don't know. The books of Tafsir do not mention that, but the books do mention that it was a small baby who spoke up. And definitely, maybe the finance minister was in that frame of mind that he could not speak up. But then, the reason why Allah Ta'ala also did that is, one of the reasons why Allah Ta'ala made the small baby also speak up was to put the value of Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam in the heart of the finance minister. As in, imagine a small baby who cannot even walk, talk, and suddenly speaks up and gives such a logic. The finance minister also got to know that Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam is someone who is special. He's not an ordinary person. Subhanallah, Allah Ta'ala is making a baby speak so that he can save Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam from this allegation. This is also one of the reasons why this small baby was made to speak up and why the finance minister himself did not think about it. So this is one of the reasons that why did this happen. And when they saw, then definitely the shirt of Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam was torn from behind because he was running towards the door. Zulaikha was running behind him, and while trying to catch him, the shirt tore. So then it was clear to the finance minister now that it is not that Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam is wrong over here. It is his wife who was creating a problem. Yes, somebody wants to say something?
What was the sin?
Sorry.
What was the sin?
As I also mentioned last time, is the rather than focusing on what the sin was, as is the mizaj of Islam, as is the mizaj of Deen, that we should focus on the lessons which we can learn from these stories. What and the sin was basically, if I have to just simplify simplify this to you guys as to what was the sin which Zulaikha was trying to convince Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam, was that Zulaikha was trying to tell Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam that they should become girlfriend boyfriends. You can understand it from that perspective. So that is the kind of sin which Zulaikha was calling Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam, was that she was just trying to tell Prophet Yusuf that we should become girlfriend boyfriends, which we all know that's definitely haram in Islam. We can never do that. So and that is why Prophet Yusuf started running away, and he said, no, this is completely wrong. I cannot do that. Yeah, is that clear to everyone?
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. So then this is what the baby said, that okay, if the shirt is torn from the front side, then Zulaikha is true and Prophet Yusuf is lying. And if the shirt was torn up from behind, then Zulaikha was telling a lie and Prophet Yusuf is truthful. And when they saw the shirt was torn from behind. Now it was very clear to the finance minister that this is what his wife has caused. It is not that Prophet Yusuf is wrong over here. So Prophet Yusuf, so the finance minister told Prophet Yusuf that he just told him, oh Yusuf, just ignore this matter. He's like, just let it be. And he told his wife that she should seek forgiveness from this sin, and she is the one who's wrong over here. So there are a few lessons also for us over here which we learn from this. One of the things is that one of the things when the finance minister told Prophet Yusuf just ignore this matter, what he was trying to say is just don't mention it to anyone. Just keep this with you. Don't just talk about it, because definitely this will not be good if people hear that okay, the finance minister's wife was doing this, so this will not go good with him. The lesson for us is over here is this is what we do. This is what we do also. This is what we do around, that whenever we get to know about people who have done a certain sin here and there, we go and tell people around. Nowadays, people put it on Instagram. They will take photos and share it with others and tell people, oh, I saw Osman doing that. Oh, you know what? I saw Hamza doing that. I saw Aiman doing that. Oh, I saw Sadan doing that. Saim is doing that. So this is our mizaj. But then see what are we learning over here is that we should let it be. We should never talk about the bad people do over here. And what if we talk bad about people behind their back, what is that called? Backbiting. Yes, that is called backbiting. And backbiting, in the Quran, Allah Ta'ala says about backbiting that, do you like that you eat the flesh of your brother? That this is how, and definitely we all hate it. So backbiting is just like behind you talk about people behind their back, and and if you would have talked about the same in front of them, they would not have liked it. So backbiting is also haram. It is a major sin, and we should not be doing that. So over here also we learn from this, and the fact that seek forgiveness, just forgive. Prophet Yusuf salam forgave Zulaikha. We should also have this habit that we should be forgiving people. We should not say no, 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 no. He caused me harm, and now I'll also harm them. If he did this, I will also do that. We should also learn to forgive people. We should also learn to forgive people. And in one area, in one part of the Quran, where Allah Ta'ala touches the same topic, do you know what does Allah Ta'ala say? Allah Ta'ala and Allah Ta'ala tells that you and they should forgive and forego, and then Allah Ta'ala gives a reason why we should do that. And subhanAllah, it just opens up our mind and heart as to how we should be treating. Allah Ta'ala says, do you not like that Allah forgives you? So if you know, and we all know how much do we sin in a day. Every now and then, every moment we keep slipping and we keep disobeying Allah. And we say astaghfirullah, 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 astaghfirullah. Now if that happens, astaghfirullah, and we expect that Allah Ta'ala will forgive us on the day of judgment, then Allah Ta'ala is saying that we should also forgive and forgo. Just like we expect Allah, we like that Allah forgives us on the day of judgment, shouldn't we also forgive people? Shouldn't we also forgive people of what bad they do to us, what wrong they cause to us? So Allah Ta'ala is teaching us over here also that we should be forgiving people. We should because people keep making mistakes and we need to forgive them. We need to forgive them. Yeah, somebody was saying something.
Did Yusuf alayhi salam forgive Zulaikha?
Yes, he forgave her. He forgave her. This is the sunnah of the Prophet. This is what we are taught, that he just forgave her. We should also be forgiving people. People make mistakes, and we should be forgiving them. Any other question from anyone?
No.
All right. Now, so this is what finance minister told that Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam, you should ignore this matter, and he asked Zulaikha that she should seek forgiveness for her sin, and she's the one who's wrong over here. Now,
That why did Prophet Yusuf go to the jail for 7 years?
now we will know that. We will know why did Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam went to the jail. What happened? Now, yeah. So, can I have a fresh raise of hands for people who want to read the next ayahs? Umar Nawaz was complaining he never got a chance. So, Umar Nawaz, we are giving you a chance now. Bismillah.
Yes. So can you give me 1 minute?
I will give you 1 minute. Come on, brother, we're waiting for you.
Okay, sir. I'm on the phone.
Sorry?
Yes, sir. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Sir, which ayah is this from?
These are the ayahs number 30 and 31.
Okay. وقال نسوة في المدينة امرأة العزيز تراود فتاها عن نفسه
قد شغفها ربها إنا لنراها في ضلال مبين فلما سمعت بمكرهن أرسلت إليهن وأعتدت لهن متكئا وآتت كل واحدة منهن سكينا وقالت اخرج عليهن فلما رأيناه أكبرنه وقطعن أيديهن وقلنا حاش لله ما هذا بشرا إن هذا إلا ملك كريم.
Jazakallah khairan. Muhammad Hamza Ali Khan, can you read the translation?
I didn't start.
Sorry?
I did it last time.
You did it last time. Okay. Anybody else who wants to read the translation?
Me, sir, I have never got a chance.
Who's me? Who's me? Whose name is me over here?
Allah.
Alman? Okay, I thought your name is me.
Sorry.
Okay, read.
And woman in the city said, the wife of the governor is seducing her youthful sale. The love for him has arrested her. Surely we see her in open error. So when she heard of their taunting comments, she extended an invitation to them and arranged for them a comfortable place to sit and dine, and gave everyone a knife and said to Yusuf, come out to them. So when they saw him, they found him great and were so stunned that they cut their hands and said, oh God, he is no human being, he is but a noble angel.
Jazakallah khairan. Alright. So, what happened now is that the finance minister told Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam that he should just let it be, just don't tell anyone about it, just forgive her. And he asked his wife that she should seek forgiveness for the sin. Now, Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam did not go out and tell anyone, but there were 5 women in that who used to do the housework of the finance minister. They got to know this, and
Slaves.
we can't say they were slaves, but they were the ones who used to work in the house, and they got to know this story. Now, as is the problem these days, historically people would say this was the problem only with ladies, but nowadays this is a problem with the men also. We all like gossiping, just telling anyone, and the best way to just spread the news is just to go and tell anyone, don't tell this to anyone, and then they will just tell this along, and the story just goes around the entire city. And this is what happened. Those 5, they saw this what happened in the house, and they started talking to people around and all that, and this became a talk of the town. The ladies were talking about it. The ladies of the city were talking about, see, well, this is what the wife of finance minister did. This is she tried to commit a sin, and this is what Prophet Sallallahu ran and all that, and they said, oh, she's just gone crazy. They started talking about her, as in what has happened to the wife of Prophet, as in what has happened to the wife of the governor. Why is she behind a slave? Why is she calling that slave towards a sin? She's just in a big error. So just like people do, people just start making stories, right? They just want to talk. They just want to keep talking, whatever it comes. Whatever it happens, they have to talk. So this is what this did. Now, in order to make them quiet, in order to answer to all of these gossips which were going around, what Zulekha did is she called a party. What she did is she called a party at her house, and she called all the ladies, and she made them sit all in one line. So everyone was sitting in one line, and everyone was given a plate. There was some fruits in there, and everyone was given a knife. So this is how she set up the entire scene. All her friends were sitting. They had a plate, fruits, and a knife in their hand, and then she asked Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam to walk past over there. As soon as they would start eating, she asked Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam to walk, and Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam was a slave. He had to just answer, as in, because it was no sin which she was asking her earlier. The wife of Zulaikha was asking Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam to do to do a sin, and Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam said, "No, I cannot do it." But now just walking and going somewhere, that is not a sin. Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam, as soon as she said, "Now you should walk and go there," so the ladies were started eating the fruit, and as soon as they saw Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam standing, they just forgot that they have a fruit in their hand, and instead of cutting the fruit, they actually cut their fingers. And then they said, "Oh, because Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam was so beautiful, they were just like, man, who is this?" So Prophet is, and then what happened is, eventually, rather than cutting the fruit, they cut their hand and they said, "Oh God, he is not a human being. He is but a noble angel." They're like this, he's such a beautiful. And the point which Zulekha was trying to make over here is that, see, you guys were accusing that I have tried to commit a sin with a slave, but this slave, look at this slave, he's so beautiful. So you should not be talking like this towards me. But then this is the test. This is the test of Allah, that how do you control yourself? Yeah. You cannot, there can be no excuse to do a sin, right? There can be no excuse, whatever happens. We cannot do a sin. You have to stay away from sins. So, now this is what happened. And as we just, yeah.
But men can see the ladies. So how did you come?
Sorry? Your voice is not clear, brother.
Men can't see the.
Yes, men cannot see the woman. Men should lower their gaze. Yes.
How did you?
No, Yusuf alayhi salam did not look at the females, right? Yusuf alayhi salam was just walking. It was the ladies who looked at Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam, which was not correct. They should also have lowered their gaze. We should not be looking at ladies, and ladies should also not be looking at us. Just like we should lower our gaze, the ladies should also have lowered it. But this is what happens, right? When you commit a sin, this is what happens. Yeah, please go on mute. And kindly go on mute, please. Kindly go on mute.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
Sir, did Zulaikha like Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam, or did she just want him to get caught and go to jail?
No. Zulekha had started liking Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam. As I said, she was trying to call her towards the sin. We all know boyfriend, girlfriend is a sin. So she was trying to make, as in, just to, so that it is easier for you guys to understand, she was trying to tell Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam that she should become a girlfriend of her. And Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam said, "No, that is not possible. That can never happen. I cannot disobey Allah." So then we will now cover that how does Prophet Yusuf salam eventually get to jail, because and the way how Prophet Yusuf salam got to jail is because Zulekha was not just stopping, as in she continued to cause problems to Prophet Yusuf salam, and Prophet Yusuf salam eventually made a dua to Allah that you just take me to the jail. I just don't want to stay in this palace because this lady is constantly calling me towards the sin, and I just fear that I will fall into the sin. So I just want to go into the jail so I can stay away from sins.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
How did the women know about Yusuf alayhi salam and Zulekha's story?
Yeah.
Like, how did, if it was total secret, how did they come to know?
Yeah, so as I just mentioned, there were 5 women who were working in the house of the Aziza Misr, the finance minister, and because they were in the same house, they got to know, eventually they saw, or they eventually got to know something happened like that, and then they went out of the house of the palace, and then they shared this entire story with the people around, with the woman outside the house.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, Umar.
How old was Yusuf alayhi salam at this age?
He was almost in his 30s, early 30s. He had reached early 30s.
How long at this incident, when this incident happened?
Yes, when this incident happened, he was in his early 30s. 30.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yusuf alayhi salam?
Yes, Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam was in his early 30s at this age.
When he went to jail or before going to jail?
Before going to jail, Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam was in his early 30s.
Sir, also, another question, when he was thrown in the well, he was like 12 years old, right?
When he was thrown in the well, he was almost as per one of the references, he was 7 years old.
Or 7. There were like between the gap between 7 and 30 years old.
Mhm.
At 30, he just had this incident. What was he doing? Was he in?
He was as we covered that he was bought as a slave by the finance minister, and he was working in the house of the finance minister.
Oh, for all of those years.
Yeah.
Oh.
Zakaria, you have a question? You have your hand raised?
Sorry, I forgot to keep it down.
All right. So is this clear with everyone?
Yes.
Yeah. So one of the lessons over here is, because see, Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam was very beautiful, and when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives beauty, the tests are even greater. Yeah. But if we pass the test, if the young people pass test, there are great rewards. There are great rewards by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah ta'ala loves the ibadah of the young people. Allah ta'ala loves the effort of the young people. Allah ta'ala values the young people a lot. Yeah. Even in that hadith in which Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said that nobody would be able to move on the day of judgment until they have answered a few questions. So in that specifically, there is one question that what did you do with your wife? What did you do with your life? And then there's one question that what did you do with your youth? Because in the life, youth also comes. In our life, youth also comes. But then specific question on the youth, and this is very important for you, for me also. Technically, I'm still a youth. In Islam, youth is from the time of puberty until the age of 40. So I'm still amongst the youth. So this is a very important incident for us and a lesson for us. Allah Ta'ala loves the ibadah of the young people, of the youth, and you guys are all young over here in this room. So you guys should also be striving to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Take up every opportunity which comes to please Allah. Any sin which comes your way, just leave that. Stay away from it. Go away from that environment. And in return of that, what do we get? What do we get? There will, in a hadith it comes, there will be 7 people under the shade of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of judgment, when there will be no shade but that shade. And who will get that shade? Look at the point number 2. A youth who has been brought up in the worship of Allah. That is worships Allah. You guys are all youth, we are all youth. If we want the shade on the day of judgment, then this is how we can get it. Also, if you look at number 5, Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam did the same. A man who refuses the call of a charming woman of noble birth for illicit intercourse with her, and says, I'm afraid of Allah. So this is also both of these scenarios Yusuf alayhi salam fulfilled. But yes, we should also, may Allah Ta'ala save us from all kind of tests. May Allah save us from the 5th point. But then definitely the 2nd point, we all are youth and we all can strive in the worship of Allah and become better people. All right. Now now the hands have been cut. Now we will, the point which Osman has been waiting for, that how did Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam end up in jail? Now we will cover that inshallah. So if we can have people who want to do this. Muhammad Azim, I will give you a chance to read it only if you change your display picture, man. You have a very funny. Wa alaikum. You have a very funny display picture.
Thank you, sir. Thank
I am going to give you a chance only if you change the display picture or
أعوذ
if
بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Okay, quick question. Mohammed Azim, how old are you?
I'm 17.
17 years old. Okay, good. Come on, go on, recite.
Right. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قالت فذلكن الذي لم لمتنني فيه ولقد راودته عن نفسه فاستعصم ولئن لم يفعل ما أمره ليسجنن وليكون من الصاغرين. قال رب السجن أحب إلي مما يدعونني إليه وإلا تصرف عني كيدهن أصب إليهن وأكن من الجاهلين. فاستجاب له ربه فصرف عنه كيدهن إنه هو السميع العليم.
Jazakumullahu khairan. Who wants to read
Right.
that? Ammar Ahmad Khan. Do you want
Can I?
Ammar Ahmad Khan?
I know it. I never read it. I know this.
Everyone will get a chance, inshallah. For now, Ammar, where are you gone? You had raised your hand. Ammar, are you there?
Should I say?
Yes, please. Ammar Ahmad Khan, please read.
She said, "This is he you blame me for." Yes, I seduced him, but he abstained and should he not follow my command, he shall be imprisoned and will be disgraced. He said, "My lord, the prison is dearer to me than what these women invite me to, and unless you do not turn the treachery away from me, I shall get inclined towards him and shall be among the ignorant." So his Lord accepted his prayer and turned their treachery away from him. Surely he is the all-hearing, the all-knowing.
Jazakumullahu khairan. All right. So then, when Zulaikha saw that her friends, whom she had all gathered, and they all cut her hand when they saw Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam, now she's trying this. She tried to just make a point to them that, like, okay, see, this is the person whom you were blaming me for. I tried to call him towards the sin, but he abstained. He did not come close. And now she said, and should he not follow my command, he shall be imprisoned and will be disgraced. So basically, what she is telling Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam that, okay, if you will not listen to me, if you will not fall into this sin, I will keep calling you towards it, and if you don't do that, you will be put into jail. You will be disgraced. Now, definitely, Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam did not want to fall into that sin. He did not want to do that. So, what basically Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam eventually did is he just prayed to Allah, "Oh Allah, I just want to get out of this scenario. I just want to get out of this scenario of sin. I don't want, because I just fear that I might get inclined towards it. Just save me, and I'm okay to go into the jail. Put me into the jail, and I'm okay to stay away from this." So this is how Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam, and then Allah Ta'ala also says over here that فَاسْتَجَابَ لَهُ رَبُّهُ, so his Lord accepted his prayer and turned their treasury from him. As in, he accepted his prayer, he saved him from that sinning environment and put him into the jail. There are a few questions for us to learn over here. A few lessons for us to learn. First thing, what was the desire of Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam? His desire was that he should get away from this environment of sin, and he said, I fear that I'll get inclined towards. My friends, this is what an environment does. If an environment is good, then you will take good from there. If your friends around are all good people, are all people who do good deeds, are all people who stay away from bad deeds, naturally you will also start doing that. But then if you have people around who do bad deeds, then you will also start getting inclined towards that. The environment in which you are staying, this is how you relate to people. This is how you start relating that, okay, am I doing good or I'm doing bad and all that. So we all need to be in an environment where people are doing good, are staying away from bad, and trying whatever they can to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'll give you my example. I'll give you one of my examples. You know, I was a place where I was working earlier. So one day I was going for Maghrib prayers. I was going for Maghrib prayers, and I was in my lift. So one of my bosses, he came into the lift, and he asked me while I was going to pray Maghrib. He asked me, Ayman, where are you going? I said, I'm going to pray Maghrib. So he's like, okay, good. And then he's like, okay, what do you do for Isha? As in, do you pray Isha also with Jama? I said, yeah, Alhamdulillah, I pray Isha with Jama. And then he told me that, man, it gets very difficult for me when I reach home, and then I just pray at home only. I said, okay, fine. As in, you should be praying in the masjid. What can I say? And then he asked me, do you pray Fajr also with Jama? I said, yeah, Alhamdulillah, I pray Fajr also with Jama. He's like, oh, wow, that is so great. And I was just, when I had this discussion, I was just thinking about it. I was like, man, so this is one environment of my office where people are thinking that if somebody prays Fajr with Jama, we are doing great. And there is one environment of Ilm Academy where I go, where I have my friends and we learn and all that. Over there praying 5 times a day with Jama is like minimum. People over there are reading extra Quran, doing extra zikr, going helping people, doing extra charity, praying tahajjud and all that. And that is what we are all striving to do that, and this is how we think we will be good. So I was just thinking, if I will keep myself in the environment of my office, I will think I'm doing so great. Whereas if I keep myself in the environment of Ilm Academy and with my friends over there, then I will feel that, oh no, I have to do more, I have to strive more, I have to work more, I have to do more. So this is what an environment does. As in, if you keep yourself in an environment where people are not making an effort, you will think, okay, no, I am also doing great. But then you have to keep people who are much better than you. If you yourself keep yourself in the company of people who are doing much great effort and much great work, you will also strive to do that. You'll also make extra effort to reach there. So this is one thing, and this is one thing when one wants to get better. But then the thing is, if there is an environment of sin, you cannot say that, okay, I am just sitting over here and I'm not doing anything. There are many people who say, all of my friends do shisha, I don't do shisha, I just sit over there. All of my friends smoke, I don't smoke, only my friends smoke. My friend, it is just a matter of time. You will keep sitting with them. Eventually, one day you will say, okay, let me also try once. What? There is no problem in trying once. We need to stay away from the sinning environment. Sorry?
You get addicted to it.
Yes, it is very natural. You will get addicted to it. If your friends around are all doing it, you will say, okay, oh, let me try also once. They'll also call you. No, at least try once. No, don't do it. You cannot. You have to stay away from those environments, because if you will keep yourself in that environment, you will eventually fall into sin. So this is what the story of a Yusuf is, and this desire of Prophet Yusuf is teaching us, that no, I just want, see, if he could have thought, imagine, see, put yourself in his shoes, as in, he was living in a palace with all the ease, and instead of that, he desired to be in the jail. Imagine, from a palace to a jail. Why? Because he wanted to stay away from sins. So yes, at times when we want to stay away from sins, we'll have to make an effort. We'll have to overexert ourselves, but we have to stay away. Again, I'll tell you one of my own personal stories. When I came towards Deen, I had my friends who used to listen to music and all that. And then when I came towards Deen, I said, no, I will not listen to music. I will not listen. Now, what my friends used to do is, they would, in the car, when we would be going from one place to the other, they would just put up music. I said, no, I will not sit in this car if you put up music. And then eventually they said, okay, fine. You don't, if you don't want to listen to music, then you come on your own. Either you get your own car or you come by bus or something, because we will listen to music. I said, okay, fine. I will sit in my own car or I'll come by bus. So a lot of times it happened that I was driving alone in my car and my friends were in another car because they wanted to listen to music and I was not really ready to listen to music. So it was a difficult phase, as in I had to stay away a bit from my friends because they were not ready to understand. But then this is at what cost can we do that? Either we can say I want to go into hellfire, or we say I will go through some hardship today. What Either you stay for infinite years in hell or a lot of years in hell, or you strive a bit and then eventually Allah Ta'ala makes it easy. Allah Ta'ala made, alhamdulillah, after a few months of effort, Allah Ta'ala gave me such amazing friends who were who were staying on deen, who were all striving towards deen, and then I had no problems. I made the friends of my life. But then this is what our focus should be, that we should, if we should always make an effort that we run away from an environment of sins. Never stay in an environment of sins. Just run away from there. Just just try to stay away. Second thing, what Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam asked over here is that put me in jail. Should we be asking for that? So ulama have mentioned that no, we should not be asking for that. And they have also quoted a certain discussion between Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam and Allah Ta'ala also, that Allah Ta'ala told him that you asked for jail and I put you in jail. If you would have asked me for ease, I would have made it easy for you. That is why Allah Ta'ala, but that is why Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam taught us that we should always be praying Allah for afiyah. Afiyah means ease. See, we should not claim, or we should not make a statement that, okay, no, Allah, give me hardship, I will strive. We are all weak people. We should show we should show to Allah that we are weak, make things easy for us. Never show Allah, and never we should ask Allah that also, oh Allah, grant me sabr or make me from the sabirin. No, should not. If a certain calamity comes or a difficulty comes, yes, we should be patient, but never ask Allah for sabr. Because if you are asking for sabr, what will happen? When do we do sabr? When do we do sabr?
When there's hardship.
When there's hardship.
State
Exactly.
of calamity.
Yeah. So if we are asking Allah Ta'ala, oh Allah, grant me sabr. How will Allah grant us sabr? By giving us hardship. That means we are asking for hardship, right? We should not be asking for hardship. We should be asking for afiyah. We should be asking for afiyah. And this was the mizaj of Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam also. That, and is a famous dua which he made when he was coming back from Taif, when we all know the story that the people threw stones over there and his blood was coming out. At that time he made a dua to Allah that, oh Allah, I'm just telling you the gist of it. Oh Allah, if you're not angry with me, then I don't care what these people are doing. But oh Allah, I am a human being. I like afiyah. I like ease. Don't put me in this difficulty. This should be our mizaj also. We should not be saying, no, I will do. Oh Allah, give me easy. Make it easy for me to pray. Oh Allah, make it easy for me to read Quran. Oh Allah, make it easy for me to stay away from sins. Oh Allah, make it easy for me to have good friends. Oh Allah, make it easy for me to stay away from bad friends. Oh Allah, make it easy for me to read the Quran, to learn the Quran, to do the hifz of the Quran, to understand the Quran, to live a life of Quran. Easy, easy, easy. Don't ask Allah for the hard way or the difficult way. Always show to Allah, oh Allah, I am weak, you are strong, make things easy for us. Understood, guys?
Shaykh, I have a doubt.
Yes, friend. Tell me.
In the Quran, there is an ayah which mentions رَبَّنَا أَفْرِغْ عَلَيْنَا صَبْرًا وَثَبِّتْ أَقْدَامَنَا وَانصُرْنَا عَلَى الْقَوْمِ الْكَافِرِينَ.
Yes.
Are we allowed to make this dua? Because it mentions sabr.
Yeah. See, that is basically when the calamity has come. Now when it has come, oh Allah, make us steadfast on it. So when the calamity has always come, now it is like, okay, steadfast, and then again, help us. Wansurna al-qawmil kafirin, oh Allah, help us. What does help us? Bring us afiyah. Bring afiyah. Make this difficulty go away. We don't want difficulty to stay with us. We want afiyah. We want ease. We want your help. Just keep us away from all of these hardships.
Jazakum.
Yeah. So this is how Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam basically ended up in the prison. And one more thing is also over mentioned. So what he said is that, oh Allah, take me to the prison, take me away from what they are calling me towards, and I might do and I fear that I might fall into the sin, wa akum min al jahilin, and I shall be among the ignorant. The what I'm trying to say over here is that what is Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam is saying, that I might fall into this sin by getting ignorant, by becoming jahil, or by being heedless. This is how we end up sinning. When we forget Allah, that's when we fall into sin. We should be in a habit that we remember Allah often. We should always remind ourselves that whatever I am doing, Allah Ta'ala is watching me. Whatever I am saying, Allah Ta'ala is hearing me. Whatever I hear, Allah Ta'ala knows. If we put ourselves into this practice, then whenever an opportunity of a sin comes, we'll immediately remember that no, Allah is watching me, how can I do this? Or if an opportunity comes to say something bad, and if we remind ourselves, no, Allah is hearing me, how can I say that? If an opportunity comes to hear some music or some wrong things, so Allah, and if we put ourselves into this practice, then we know that Allah Ta'ala knows. Okay, I might be hiding it from my family by putting on headphones or something, or hiding in a room, but Allah Ta'ala is watching me from there. Allah Ta'ala knows whatever I'm doing, then I should not be doing that. So one way to stay away from sins is to always try and be in a state of zikr. Always try and remember yourself to zikr. And this zikr is not just done when the opportunity to sin comes, but this practice of zikr should be done regularly. One should make it a practice after prayers and all that, so that when the opportunity comes, we are ready to fight that. Because just as a boxer practices outside before getting into the ring. Not that he gets into the ring and starts practicing. He practices a lot after outside, that when he gets into the ring, he's ready to fight. So we should also be in a practice of doing zikr, always getting into a practice of remembering Allah, so that we can overcome this. Yeah. So that is, and this is what is the last message which I wanted to give over here, is that we should leave that atmosphere of sin and always be ready to do a bit of hardship over sin. Never, as in, if we have an option that you sin or you take a little hard way, we should be taking the hard way. But Allah Ta'ala always for afiyah. Always ask for afiyah. Don't ask him for hardship. Yeah, is that clear to everyone?
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
Yes. Anybody who has a question, feel free to ask.
maybe.
Yes, I am.
Um, so as you said, just mere moments before you said that you shouldn't ask Allah for hardship, but usually we are put into hardship, right? Because of like the tests of life and
Yeah.
things. Then
See,
can you
that's
can
what
you
that's
continue?
that's what we should be always asking Allah Ta'ala for afiyah. And if a hardship comes, then yes, we try to, and we again ask Allah Ta'ala that He takes away this hardship. And while the hardship is there, then we should remain steadfast. We should keep striving so that we don't fall into the sin, because there is a definite, because of that dua for afiyah, there might be a bigger calamity which was coming your way, which became small because of your dua. So we should always keep asking Allah for afiyah. Yeah. Anybody else has a question? All right, then. Jazakumullah khairan for everyone for joining. Inshallah, I'll meet you guys all next week. Remember me in your duas, and we shall meet inshallah next week. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Bye.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.